Okay, so my name is qualified because I am qualified to speak on whatever I'm speaking on when I'm speaking on it. So this channel is gonna be about a lot of things. I'm not just subject to one thing, but for the most part, it will be an informational channel. I will be dropping information for you to learn and open your for you to learn and store some in your brain and open your eyes up. For the most part, it's gonna be an eye opener because I'm dropping eye opening facts and eye opening news. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get it started. And I'm gonna show y'all from the title what I'm talking about. Age, there's no such thing as an Asian person. There's no such thing as an Asian culture, and there's no such thing. Well, you may say you can probably say Asian culture if you want. No, there's no such thing as an Asian culture, and there's no such thing as Asian food. So let's go and get into it. And I'm gonna start out by saying, I'm gonna start out with for let's Google an Asian person. For the most part, people don't know what everybody know what an Asian person is, man. So let's Google what an Asian person looks like for a person that don't know what an Asian person look like. Let's just get all on track. Oh, where am I typing? So boom, I done got things pre things up. So let's go ahead and go to images. An Asian person, an Asian person is supposed to symbolize a white skinned person with squinty eyes, aka Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, South Korean, whatever. This is a so-called Asian person. This is how an Asian person look. And let me show you how there is no such thing as an Asian person or Asian culture, religion, whatever, whatever. Ain't no such thing. So this we got the whole look and broadcast of it. Now we see that this is how an Asian person look. So how does an African look? Let's Google an African. Let's Google how does an African look. African. Let's Google an African. How does an African look? Why is a black person the blackest of the black put on African? Why the blackest of the black put on African with these little funny little outfits and all type of stuff? Why is this an African person? Why is this an African person? Where's Africa? First of all, if I want to go to Africa, where how am I going to get to Africa? If I want to go to Africa, take me to Africa. Where is Africa? Everybody be like, it's across the water, across the land, blah blah. Like ain't no such thing. Africa don't exist. Asia don't exist. Let me show y'all how these places don't exist. So let's Google. Let's take this back to third grade. Let's take this back to first grade learning. Let's go ahead and get the 7 continents up. Like I feel like people be forgetting natural things. Let's get the 7 continents up. Let's visit the website. Boom. We got the 7 continents of the world that we live on. The world we live on, if you didn't know, is the globe, and the globe is Earth. The world we live on is a Earth, and it's a so-called round globe that we live inside of. And we got North America, that's number one. South America, that's number two. Antarctica, that's number three. Africa, that's number four. Europe, that's number five. Asia, that's number six. And Australia is number seven. Them are the 7 continents. So, with that being said, there's Africa. But if I want to go to Africa, where is Africa? Africa is not a place. Africa don't exist. Africa is just the name of a land, of a large part of land that um is Africa is the name of a large part of land that holds a group of countries. There's no such thing as an African culture. There's no such thing as African food. There's no such thing as an African person. So if you want to talk about things, there's a such thing as a Nigerian person. There's a such thing as Nigerian food, and you got Nigeria, and you got Nigeria. Like I didn't even notice that. But this is quick touching on. And my knowledge, if black people supposedly come from Africa, wouldn't we supposedly supposed to come from Nigeria or Nigeria because that's why we call it niggers? Where else would we call? Where else would we come from? Where? Like where? That's the closest. That's probably the that's probably the closest part on the land that they started finding people when they settled over there or whatever, whatever. Like I ain't even gonna get into that. So that's another video for another time. But let's go ahead and keep going into this Asian part. So Asia over here, we're gonna follow his hand. Asia is this orange highlighted part where you got a large part of Asia. This is Asia. So if this is Asia, why are we calling I didn't took it off. If that's Asia, uh, if that's Asia, come on now. If that's Asia, why are we subjecting these people to be Asian? It's not a such thing. Asia, Asia is this large part of land. Let's take it to the real maps. Look, we got all these little islands, all these little islands. Not that New Guinea, that Guinea or whatever island, but we got Indonesia. We got all the little surrounding Philippines. We got Japan, South Korea. We got Thailand, Vietnam, China. It sounded like all the foreign looking, all the foreign type of land where we get those white persons with squinty eyes. They do come from the land of Asia, but they're not Asian. There's no such thing as an Asian person. Because if that's to be so, when we call an Indian an Asia, Indian, when we call an Indian person an Asian person, because they come from Asia, when we call Pakistanians Asian, when we call Saudi Arabians Asian, Iraqians Asian, when I don't even feel like this is supposed to be a part of Asia because this is the Holy Land, is a part of Africa, but whatever, we're gonna let them get that on paper because they lying to us. But man, this is the Holy Land right here. Follow the mouse from Egypt to all this land from Iran to Turkey. Um Oman, Yemen, all that stuff, that's the Holy Land, man. But we're going for this part, we're gonna consider that Asia, right? So we got all that's Asian. Notice this though, you ain't never heard of Asian food. Notice that. You ain't never heard of Asian food. Where can you go and get some Asian food? If we got Asian people, if we got an Asian culture, what language is Asian? What's the Asian language? Speak to me in Asian. That's not a such thing. But you do got Chinese people, so that want to claim to be Asian. They want to claim something that's not lost. So we're gonna type this in. We're gonna type Asia on the real maps and see where it takes us. We got Asia, boom, and it lets you know for the people, for you people, pay attention. Continent, continent. But why does it take us dead smack in the center of China? Tell me that. Why does it take you in the dead smack center of China? You don't even see China name no more. All you see is Asia. You don't even see China name. Why does it take us there? China. But notice this. It take us there, but we got the Beijing beef. We got the what are the noticeable names? Szechuan chicken. I don't even see no other names. We got all these Chinese eating type of foods that we see in Chinese restaurants. But they don't want to be called China. That mean they don't want to be called Chinese. Ask yourself that. Why do Chinese people don't want to be called Chinese? Why they don't like to be called Chinese? Japanese people don't like to be called Chinese, but they all in my man, they all Chinese. They all come from the same place, speaking the same sort of type of language. It may be tweaked a little different, but they speak the sort of same type of language. Man, got the same type of religion, all the above, almost in the same type of government, man. They all got the same way and part. They all got the same style of thinking, man. Bash me if you want. So that's that. But let me go on here and cover a little bit of Chinese history. I feel like they don't like to be called Chinese because China has a bad history and has a bad every place has a bad history, but Chinese have a history of things like genocide and stuff like that. Even though every race does, but of course everybody want to put act like they're better than this, better than that, blah blah. And a lot of people don't know this, but This is something I learned in school. So this is ninth grade learning. I learned this in social studies, man. I'm not sure what the name of the leader was, but it was a leader in China, which in China, China is a communist country, meaning whatever the government say goes. Meaning you can't talk bad against the government. You can get put in jail for saying "F you Donald Trump" type of stuff, "F you Biden." If you was to say that in China and an official heard you or the police heard you, you're going to jail. You got all holidays and things are celebrated on the same day type of thing. When they celebrated, the whole country got to celebrate it. Um, what else? How I can break it down. Basically, whatever the government says goes. You can't go against the government. It's hard leaving in and leaving out of that country, and all of the above, man. So they had a leader that I'm not sure what the time frame was, but you can look it up. And if you want me to go in depth on it, I can look it up and go further into it. But they got a leader that um he was killing all the newborn women, newborn baby girls that was being born. I think households was only allowed to have like two children in a household, no more than two children. And they were only allowed to have like one girl. So if they had more than one girl, they were supposed to kill the other baby girl at birth. And that was because a so-called it was overpopulated. So look it up if you think I'm lying. Baby girls were being killed at birth. Family Guy even did a little segment on this. I'm not sure which episode, but once again, I can pull all this up if you really want me to go in depth. But not only that, China had a ruler that made them do foot binding, and foot binding is where at birth they were putting things on the feet of of born people. I'm not sure if it was a certain race. I'm not sure if it was the same ruler, but he was having them put things on their feet to keep their feet binded to keep them from growing a certain height. That's why Chinese people have certain height, whatever. That's what whatever. But that was affecting their genes. So I don't have too much information on that, but I can get onto that. And like I said, pay attention to it and look it up if you're gonna look it up because this is some real stuff. So that's all I wanted to say really about that. There's no such thing as an Asian person. There's no such thing as an Asian culture. Asia is just a name of a large body of land that covers a lot of countries, just like the rest of the continents. Just like the rest of the continents. So if you want to say you going to North America, which who says that? What part of North America you going to? Canada or the United States? Them are two different countries ran by two different leaders doing two different things, two different rules. So man, open your eyes. And if this is something that really, this is something that y'all done paid attention to and open your eyes, man, share it or whatever, comment, whatever. Like I said, ain't no such thing as Asian people. Pay attention, people. Ain't no such thing as an Asian person. Next time you see a Chinese person, ask them, are you from Asia? Are you Asian? Blah, blah. Do you speak Asian? No, it's not a such thing. And if they smart, and they ain't gonna play with you. They're gonna let you know. But man, for the most part, man, people play games. So, like I said, ain't no such thing as an Asian person. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Because if that was to be true, you would call Russians Asian. Like I said, you would call a lot of these people Asian, but they're not called Asian. Indian had their own culture. Indians kind of look like Africans when they wearing all that type of stuff. Mark of Buddha on the head, all type of clothes and all type of stuff, man. Like I said, pay attention to it. There's no such thing as Asian people, and I got more to come. So if you like that, like the video.